Are you in love with football? And what about sports betting? Do you want to earn really big money from it? Experts of BetFact prepare dozens of solid and safe predictions with high odds every day, so you can win a lot and stably. Just sign up through the link in the description and punish your bookie.
It must bring back some great memories.
It's the best. It's the best. That's why we're all so excited for this game. That's why the atmosphere, the world is watching. It means everything. You can call yourself the best, probably the best club in the world, because on winning the Champions League it's the best competition in the world, and they're that close. Those young boys, they're walking in it, inexperienced. Of course, it's going to be relevant in this game, but what a chance for Jordan Henderson, for instance, to pick that trophy up, for every player in there to make history.
That's the dream, Real, isn't it?
It's the dream. It's a chance to be forever immortalised. That's the thing with this. So you're going to go down in history. You are going to be etched in the history of your football club. And I think there's a difference here between the two clubs in that our English teams, our first priority is the Premier League. We were speaking about it earlier. The difference with this team in Real Madrid in Spain is their first priority is this. They see this as their trophy. So when we talk about maybe Liverpool having a bit more desire because they're young, energetic, lacking experience, haven't won it yet. These guys, they feel that this is their trophy, and who are you to come here and try and take our trophy? There's a difference between the two mindsets of both clubs, so it's a great dynamic within the story that's here today.
So it's interesting looking at the way the two teams, as we saw there, making it to the final this year. I mean, Real Madrid might have struggled from time to time, but if you look at it, they've had a lot harder run of games, haven't they? They had Spurs and Dortmund in the group stage, then they had PSG, Juve and Bayern, of course, whereas Liverpool, aside from Manchester City, have had a relatively comfortable run through. Real.
Yeah, and they've made it look comfortable. That's the difference with Liverpool. They blitzed Manchester City. Everyone had Man City as favourites, including myself. But they went there and they met them toe to toe, and they had a genuine belief and a desire to get through and to meet Manchester City like no other team has done this season. And I think there's that dynamic element that they've got, the pace, the power. I think this is the most powerful, most quick team on the planet at the moment, and they're the best equipped to play against the likes of the Man Cities and this team here against Real Madrid, who are an ageing side, so to speak. So I think that athleticism will play a big part today.
Got a feel for Oxlade-Chamberlain. Just saw him walking through on crutches there. Really, really sad, isn't it? Entered the season, not just this, but a World Cup as well.
Yeah, it's a huge blow. I mean, games of this magnitude, you never want to miss out on them and the World Cup moving forward. But to be fair to him, listening to a few interviews and stuff, he's on the mend. He's had a successful operation, and he's just got to focus on getting himself fit. But I think he's here now to support the lads, and hopefully ends up with a winners' medals, because he certainly deserves one.
Wish him well. Time for another break. When we come back, we'll have the team news, and with the talent on show tonight, we're in for some fireworks.
Over the whole Champions League campaign so far, it's absolutely deserved. It would have been, how I said before the game, it would have been deserved for Rome. I think for both teams it would have been crazy if we play extra time, if we go 2 times 15 minutes. I have no clue how that would have happened. That would have been really crazy. But so now it was 7-6 on aggregate, which sounds crazy because it is crazy. We came in that competition as a qualifier and are now in the final. And I'm really, really happy for the boys. I'm really happy for the club. I'm really happy for our fans. It was a fantastic ride so far. And yeah, now we will go to Kiev, which sounds crazy, but it is the truth. We will go to Kiev. Do we have the widest squad in world football in the moment? No, we don't have it. So it's quite difficult moment. So that this group went to the final is exceptional. We get all the knocks over the season, all the knocks with injuries in the wrong moment, stuff like that, really difficult. And we still have to carry on. It's not that we can say now, so we are already qualified for Champions League next year. So Chelsea at the weekend is an unbelievably important game for us. I give the boys the night, that not because it's cool, they don't drink alcohol, so they can stay a little bit longer awake. Then we recover tomorrow, and then we go to Chelsea. They have again the knife between the teeth, and will fight for everything. So that's life. Then we have 1 week for the Brighton game, which is then, again, very, very important probably. So we cannot go to a Champions League final with nice football constantly, being better than the other team. That's not possible, and you have to suffer from time to time. That's how it is, and we suffered. Because we didn't finish the game, they could keep on going like they did. So, and that's all. If we scored a third one, which would have been possible, then the game is already decided. I don't know, 2.5 hours ago, but we didn't. So that's our fault, of course, but is there anything to criticize? No. These boys go constantly over their limit, constantly, and I'm really proud of that. And we have to do it 3 more times, and then we can be part of the Champions League next year again, and yeah, can be a good opponent in the final. That's first of all what you have to be, and then we will see what happens then.
Yeah, all eyes on Kiev and their opponents, Real Madrid, who made it a bit nervous themselves, didn't they, against Bayern Munich?
They did. I mean, they were nervous against Bayern Munich. They scored in the last minute and the last kick of the game against Juventus in the quarter-final. So I think Real Madrid are vulnerable this year. I don't think they're as good as the previous two times they've got to the final, have won it under Zidane. I think maybe it's an end of this team, maybe the end of the manager as well. But the thing that Liverpool have got to be wary of is Real Madrid's ability to step up in the big games. We were talking about Ramos, we're talking about Ronaldo, Cruz, Modric. These players, when they get to the big finals, they're used to it. It's just like a training game for them.
It's a game that's almost impossible.
It's a crazy game.
As Jurgen said, but it's almost impossible to predict as well. The only thing he would say, it's not going to end goalless, surely.
No, it's not going to end goalless because both sets of defenders like to go forward and leave huge gaps at the back. And you'd say both keepers have got a mistake in them as well. So there will be goals. Can Liverpool step up? Can they produce what they've produced so far in the competition, actually on the biggest stage in football, which is a Champions League final, against the best team, biggest club in probably world football in this competition? That is the test for them now. I think Jurgen Klopp was highlighting there that they've still got to play for the Champions League spot in the league, which might take a little bit of energy out. So Real Madrid are out, can't win the league, so they'll rest players. It's about getting that energy now back.
Well, that leads me on to my next question then. So why are they doing so well in Europe?
From the championship, but that was an extra motivation for Real Madrid because their season depends on this final, like was in that one.
To win 3 in a row would be very special, but does it get easier or harder when you're used to winning back-to-back trophies?
But winning's a habit, I suppose. And for Real Madrid to get to the 3rd consecutive final, it's really exceptional. And when you think about it, that can only be good for their approach because they've been there before, they've seen it and done it and won it. So it's like revisiting, where they've already been and been successful. But of course, that also opens it up for Liverpool because I think there's going to be a lot of less pressure on Liverpool to go into this game because they're, without a doubt, the underdogs in this game because of Real Madrid's recent successful history in it.
So let's leave Liverpool for now, we'll talk more in a moment. But if Madrid are to make it 3 in a row, how much pressure on the shoulders of Cristiano Ronaldo? Does he have to have a big game?
Of course, he always rises to the occasions. He scores all the time, but he needs teammates round about him. What he's got good football players behind him that makes the killer past him. Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't run wide, right and left. He stays more central now. And
is that a change?
Yes, it is. And now he needs service. And he's got good football players. Modric, Cruz, Marcelo gets forward. So he depends on his teammates. He's no longer a player that can beat 3 players and score goals like he did a few years ago. But he's a threat. He's always in the box. And he's not just a threat with his right and left foot. He's good in the air as well. So Liverpool will have to be aware of that as well.
Is he a better player now? Is he scoring more? Has he become a more all-rounded player, or has he become almost an out-and-out centre forward?
No, I don't think he's a better player now because he's lost that dribbling and acceleration that he used to have. But I think he plays more with his brain now than he does before, and he stays central. He's getting older, he's getting wiser.
Still breaking records.
But when you get to 33, you don't run about as much. I think you'll agree with that.
Sure. But this is the age is for everyone. Yeah. So
very easy to make this about Cristiano Ronaldo and Mo Salah. You know that it'll be someone like James Milner will pop up and get the winner. But when you compare the two, both had sensational seasons.
That's built the team to suit him, brought back, and he's asked his midfield players to let's play forward passes. He's started so well, the confidence is growing and growing, and football's all about confidence. But he's a great team player. He doesn't just score goals, he works so hard for his teammates. He's always running back and sprinting, and you can hear from his interviews, he's such a thinking all about the team, he's not about him. So it's been a great signing, the best signing in Europe for me.
Any danger that fatigue starts to take your toll? 48 games played?
No, not really. They've had a break, since the last competitive fixture, and this is 90 minutes football. They'll concentrate on that, and the energy and the excitement, the enthusiasm, the adrenaline. It's a dream come true for any player to play at this level, and Victor's been lucky enough to do it. It's as I said, it's a dream, and you want to make the best of it. No, they'll be absolutely ready for this game. It's going to be played, I think, at a real pace, and I think Liverpool will force that as much as they possibly can, because that's their energy is very much their strength, and I think they'll try and push into Real Madrid as much as they possibly can.
We're almost out of time, so let's finish with some predictions. How do you see it going?
I've got to go for Real Madrid, but I still think that Liverpool have got a chance because they've got so much potential going forward.
High-scoring game, but I think it'll be Real Madrid, I think.
I don't think you've gone out much on a limb saying a high-scoring game. And Victor, a man who almost joined Liverpool.
Well, yes. 2006, when I was finishing my last year in Deportivo La Coruña, there was very close an agreement between the both clubs when Rafa Benitez was the coach at Liverpool, and I lost my chance. But it was a pity because I am a big crazy fan. I love English football. I am following, and I will try to find my chance as a coach now.
So you're going to go for Liverpool then tomorrow?
No. I support Real Madrid.